Town of Hilton Head engineer Jeff Buckalew is joining us. He has been busy getting the new crosswalk markings up to try to avoid the kind of tragedies we've had the last couple of years with a couple of different islanders. Jeff, when I first saw this story that you guys were doing this, I started paying attention a little more as I drove up and down 278. Tell us a little bit about what you all have tried to do to better mark crosswalks that don't have lights.
Yes, sir. What we're doing now, we have 11 crosswalks on US 278 William Hilton Parkway, not at traffic signals. And to draw greater awareness to those for the motoring public, we have put walking man signs, we call them, the neon yellow, walking silhouette man signs, straddling the roadway. We put reflector strips on those signs, and on the curbing nearby, we have put pavement markings on the ground, PED-XING, in advance of the crosswalks to enhance motorist awareness that this is where pedestrians may be crossing.
Do you expect it to work? I mean, it's the next step, of course, is lights, and I know you've talked to an awful lot of people, particularly in the Yacht Cove neighborhood, about having special lighting for that area. But do you think this will slow folks down? You getting any kind of feedback that it's working?
I think so. We have a poll on our website right now. Go to www.hiltonheadsc.gov. And we're getting a lot of feedback there. I've heard people tell me they see it a lot more prominently, they're more aware. The DOT engineers have told us we're the first community in their district along the Charleston coast to have the PED-XING words on the ground.
Is it also helping, I was curious about this, is it also helping the pedestrians to know where they ought to be crossing? People just taking off and, you know, running across 278 in the middle of the night happens.
Yes.
Does this get them in line at least?
Yes, sir. Hopefully it will. If you can't cross at a traffic signal, cross at one of these crosswalks. And I want to make it clear, pedestrians should wait until there's an ample gap in traffic. A phenomenon we see here on Hilton Head is that motorists may stop in the travelway and wave people out into traffic.
Oh boy.
And I wish they wouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. If you're a pedestrian, just stay put on the side of the road until there's a clear, ample gap in traffic to safely cross.
What is the law? Who's got the right of way?
The law in South Carolina states that if a pedestrian is in the crosswalk, in the travelway, approaching vehicles must slow down or stop to yield to that person. But the pedestrian shall not leave the right-of-way abruptly to run or bolt out in front of a car, thus creating a hazard and forcing the car to slam on their brakes or swerve.
What the next step, I guess, would be lights in those crosswalks. Where does that stand? And it's a resort, I know, kind of a last resort thing that folks want to get to, but where are we proceeding down that path?
We have a pilot project. Town Council has instructed us to do a demonstration project. We've chosen Yacht Cove at Circle K on 278. We are permitting this with the DOT right now. The project will entail 7 overhead street lights at that location. The DOT standards require that you light up the entire intersection, and we will comply with Dark Sky Association standards, but we'll get that in this summer.
This summer, and so we'll see that kind of take effect into the fall. That'll be good to hear. Jeff, I appreciate the time. This is great stuff, and of course it's this time of the year when we get an awful lot of folks who are coming out here as visitors that need to know, well, how to stay safe. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Buckalew, the Town of Hilton Head.